Hello everyone, it's Brittany, aka Bulani Yao Yang. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to celebrate Chinese New Year Taiwanese style. After the house is clean, the red envelopes are prepared, everybody will travel to the husband's family's house to celebrate Chuxi Ye. On Chuxi Ye, everyone will celebrate by eating the most delicious food of the whole year. The thinking is that everyone is working so hard, so mom will do her best to prepare the best food of the year, and she will cook with extra love. The majority of the holiday basically revolves around eating really delicious food because everyone is together. So it's a really good time for everyone to come together and to feast. Anyway, one really cool thing is that most of the food that's prepared has symbolic meaning. For example, chicken means family being together and also being lucky. In Chinese, ji means family and ji means lucky. A fish is always prepared and left on the table throughout the Lunar New Year celebrations because it means prosperity and having more than enough. And it symbolizes having more than you had the previous year. Saying that I heard this year is 年年有余, which means may you always have more than enough. Another way that families celebrate Lunar New Year is going to pray at a family shrine or a family altar or Lao Jia. Lunar New Year, like many holidays that Taiwanese people celebrate, is focused on praying to their ancestors. Chinese New Year is another important time for people to bye at their local temple. So we'll burn offerings to God. And something else I should mention is that many local temples have delicious snacks. One of our favorite snacks to eat that we ate this year were quail eggs. If you haven't eaten these, you must try them. They're so good. On my list of ways to celebrate Lunar New Year is by giving and receiving hongbao. Now, I'll tell you, actually, I feel for me, it's really not that fun because I only get a red envelope from my husband or from my boss. Typically, you give them to your parents as you get older and small children. So for me, I didn't really get any. So it's an important part of Lunar New Year, but it definitely wasn't my favorite this year.
Later.
But one really fun thing when it comes to red envelopes is after you receive them, that night you put them under your pillow and you sleep with them there. And this is for protection and peace. There's a really cool story that goes with the red envelopes and putting them under your pillow, and maybe next year I'll share it with you. Okay, another thing you can do to celebrate Lunar New Year happens on day 2. And this is when everyone returns to the wife's family's house for another big celebration. One of my favorite parts of Lunar New Year this year was learning a little bit more about my husband's ama. Now, when I heard about the tradition that on day 2, typically you return to the wife's family's house, I was a little surprised because my husband's family doesn't celebrate this way. On day 2, all of my mother-in-law, my popo, all of her family returns to their mother's house and we have a big feast. Everyone plays games. And I asked my husband, well, I'm confused. I thought they had to return to their wife's family's house. And he told me that Ama says, no, I want everyone together. So my sons, they can go with their wives on Chuxi Ye. And everyone comes to my house on day 2. And I love this. I love the blending of tradition and also the bending of tradition. I think it's most important that families together and celebrations are had. So I really love that she kind of takes the tradition and makes it her own and makes it work for her family and for the wives of her sons' families as well. So my last topic for Lunar New Year and ways to celebrate is Shibaya. Now, I really tried to learn how to play Mahjong, but it was so hard, and you can only play with 4 people. My husband is a really big family, so obviously I don't think I would have really been invited to play because one, I don't really know how to play, and two, there's many people and they, wait all year to be able to play the game together. So I learned how to play this little dice game, and it was seriously so much fun. Also, I should mention that's really popular in Taiwanese culture is gambling. So as we were playing this game, I noticed that everybody was betting money. And my husband was really smart. He held my money for me, so I didn't overplay. I just played enough, and I still had so much fun. But I could see how it could be really addicting. Now, when I started to play Shabaya, I rolled the dice, and first time my dice went out of the bowl because I threw it too hard, so I had to try again. So my second time, I roll it into the bowl and bam, I got a jackpot, a Yahtzee, a royal flush, whatever you want to call it. I got the highest that you can get, 5555. I got all of the same number. I was so excited. I was jumping up and down. It really just made Lunar New Year more exciting for me. Someone that loves to look up hidden messages. So when I found 5555, I searched angel numbers that have these repeating fives, and it said it means new beginnings, which is really exciting and perfect for Lunar New Year and having a new wish for the new year. So after I got my big roll and I was feeling on top of the world, my next two rolls, womp womp, I was BG, aka the big loser. That's okay though, because overall I had such a wonderful Lunar New Year. It was so much fun getting to see my son, enjoying learning more and being more grown up this year, as well as all of my family really helping me to make sure that I understand the traditions and just really making me feel like I was part of the family. It's definitely been my favorite Chinese New Year so far since I've been in Taiwan. 所以我应该说新年快乐，恭喜发财，红包拿来，大吉大利，平平安安。然后我最爱说台湾滚滚。Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye bye. 再见。
谢谢，谢谢，谢谢。